Zach, you're riding a Bull Attitude in race 3 on Wednesday night for Mark Noon. You've only ridden him just the once, but I thought there was plenty to take out of his run last time.
Yeah, he's probably not the easiest horse to manage at the moment. He probably needs gates and flow of race where things just pan out nicely for him. If you got to sort of push and pull him and, stand over him a little bit, he's not able to handle that. And there was a little bit of that last start. It was a bit of an awkward gate. Had to come back and he got a bit keen. I thought all in all he finished off well enough and ran a nice race, but once again he's drawn a pretty poor gate, so he's going to need things to go his way.
Yeah, he certainly will. As you say, he did cover that little bit of extra ground, but I guess what was telling was, as you say, the way he's sort of levelled off and finished his race nice, which you'd like to see at the Valley.
Yeah, he got around there nice enough for his first attempt in a race there, which was good. And he's had the experience now, so hopefully he's a bit better for it. A course, a bit more room, which will suit him. But he's an honest horse. He just needs a little bit of help at the moment.
Okay, perhaps with him. That's the race before we start the International Jockeys Championships. Just an overview of your rides there, and obviously you're on horses that you know one or two of them. But how hopeful are you of landing the prize again?
Probably hopeful, more than confident. I haven't had a dive into it yet. I had a tea time yesterday, so I was more interested in going to play golf than going through the fields. So I've got today and tomorrow to worry about that. Some of them drawn a little bit tricky, so I'm going to have to try and find the right run on them. But, it's good to see a little bit more depth in the fields this year. I think it gives a fair few guys a chance.
Talking of depth, I mean depth in the riding ranks too, of course. You're no stranger to some of these guys and girls that are coming to ride in it, but looks a really bit of stiff competition this year, doesn't it?
It is. It could possibly be the strongest lineup of jockeys that they've had, which is great to see as well. And it's good to see the girls back here as well. They add another little bit of star power to it, which is good. They're familiar. They've been here before in the series, which is always nice. Give them a go again. And yeah, it's whoever wins it deserves to win it.
Caspar Fownes, you're no stranger, of course, to winners at Happy Valley. You'll certainly be wanting winners at this meeting, I'm sure. You've got Super 60 lining up in the first leg of the Jockeys Championship. You've got Joe Moreira riding, of course. No familiar name to you there. Ran in this race last year and ran well.
Yeah, he remains in good form. He was a bit unlucky his last start, so I decided to just keep him fresh and target this race. And obviously a bit unfortunate we come up with a wide gate of 11, but he's got good gate speed, so we'll leave it to Joe to handle.
He ran in this race 12 months ago, Caspar, off 44. He's done well since. I mean, he's up to 57 now. So do you think there's still a good bit to offer around here, especially?
Yeah, I think he's still got a couple of points in hand. He'll be competitive at this rating. He's only a small horse, is what I'll say, but he's been performing well in recent times.
You mentioned the wide gate, obviously very unfortunate, but no better man to overcome it. I'm sure great to team up with Joe again.
Yeah, very happy to have Joe back. He's a legend in Hong Kong. He's done so much for the sport here. So it's just great to have him back for the night, and I'm sure we'll have a bit of fun on the night.
Hugh Bowman, the IJC, very much upon us. We've just had the draw. You looked at a nice group of rides, starting with ZETA HEDGE. I know you don't know a great deal about him, but he's one run here, and Happy Valley was very good.
Yes, it was. His debut was excellent. If he can improve on that, he's going to be very competitive in the race. And hopefully we can get off to a good start in the IJC. It's a privilege to be a part of it again.
You mentioned last week, Hugh, in an article that I read, that obviously plenty of luck is required. I mean, that's always very much the case, but I guess around here, when you've got horses with a bit of course knowledge, that certainly counts for plenty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. And, this horse he's only had the one run, so he probably goes in with less experience than some of his opponents, or all of them, in fact. But that said, he's certainly a horse that looks like he's on the way up.
You've also drawn Power Kit, which is probably a bit fortunate because he's a horse you know quite well.
Well, I know him very well. I've ridden him quite a lot, and he's a horse that requires, he's sort of got a racing pattern and a rating that he requires a good draw, basically, and he's been afforded that in Barrier 3, so the setup for him looks very attractive, and I also think he's ready to probably run a peak performance for the season.
Yeah, for sure. He does certainly look that way. And you've also got Silvery Breeze, who's a horse who comes here in very good form as well. So I suppose all in all, you'd be very pleased with your lot.
Yeah, I am. I think if I had to choose one to be most excited about, it probably would be Silvery Breeze. His last 2 runs have been outstanding, and he really is knocking on the door. So, look, I think all my horses are certainly capable of scoring points for me. If we can get the all-important win on one of them, or possibly 2, that'd be probably win it. But yeah, look, like I said, they're all capable of scoring points, which is the most important thing, really.
Caspar, you've got Corleone in the second leg of the International Jockeys Championship. Got a nice draw, got a very good jockey on in Ryan Moore, and you've got a horse in form.
Absolutely, yeah. He ticks all the boxes. Again, after his impressive win last start, I opted to wait for this race for him and see if we can get another win on the board. Again, he's up in the weights and the handicap, carrying a big weight. But his win was very good in a good time. He ran 138.5, which is a solid time for the Valley. And obviously with the superstar Ryan on top, it's been a wonderful result.
I know it's easy to say now, Caspar, after he's won, but he just looked ready to win one last time, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He presented well all season, and since that run, he's pleased me in his work. He had a nice trial last week in Chung Fa, and again, he's in good condition for his race.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that trial. Is he the type of horse that sort of takes the journey up there and back in his stride? Obviously, the trial looked very good.
Yeah, no, he enjoys going up to Chung Fa, and it's a race. I mean, there's a couple of nice horses in this race. There's a couple dropping in the ratings and going into Class 4, like Hayes' horse looks quite well suited there, coming off a good finish in Class 3 last start. So, yeah, it's not the easiest of races, but I presented him well, and he gets his chance.
Talking of David Hayes, he's got plenty of runners in these races, so too have you. I imagine this is always, I know it's probably a silly question, but is this always a meeting that you target?
Yeah, I'm surprised Hazy's got a few in there. It's really surprised me to see the entries, but look, hopefully with his 3-pronged attack and my single one, I should be able to handle him.
David Hayes, the final leg of the IJC is race 8. You've got a couple of really strong chances. I'm sure you'll be liking to head into the penultimate race in a very good position. But you've got Akashvani, James McDonald, Romantic Sun, Rachel King, 2 horses that love it around here. Both look to be strong chances.
Yeah, they do. They're in-form horses that have drawn well. Akashvani didn't get the best rub of the green the other day. He had a horse lay on him in the straight, but it was only narrowly beaten. And Romantic Sun was quite dominant. So you love taking horses that are in form to the Valley, especially if they've drawn well with good jockeys on. So I'm pretty happy with all ticks.
And talking of the latter, Romantic Sun, I mean, he's always shown his best around here. Good to see him back to form last time, and Rachel King going on as well. Certainly no detriment there.
Yeah, look, he's a very consistent horse that's easy to ride. He was unlucky the start before he won, so he's really in form, and that win was probably his best run in Hong Kong.
It looks fiercely competitive as always, this competition, David, and we know there's great incentive for the trainers as well. You're throwing plenty of darts at the board this year, and you've got some really nice chances all across it. Yeah,
to get in them you've got to be in form, but to run in them they're running against a lot of in-form horses as well. So with a bit of luck they should be weighing in, I hope.
Do you think perhaps this pair in the 8th race might be a couple of your stronger chances maybe?
I really like the way Starmax's working in the Class 4. I think he's a lot better horse than Class 4s. And he's got a couple of good backups if things go wrong. So, they're one of my best chances, but it's a very hard race.
Chris, so you've got the very likeable The Boombox going back to the races on Wednesday night. Got the win here over 60 and 50 last time. Great to see him back to winning form.
Yeah, I'm very happy also, because last year, we got a couple winners and then we struggled for a while. So, finally we found a good distance, the further distance for him.
Yeah, nice to see it all click for him, of course. And that was his first run at Happy Valley. Had it always been in the back of your mind to bring him to race at the Valley?
Actually, I think, I'm speaking to Vincent to discuss, we think the horse is the most important. He's getting more relaxed, I think, he also should handle the Happy Valley track. Yeah, because the way he's so relaxed now. Because I remember the this year, the first race, even 14 first start for him, he cannot catch up the pace. So, that's why, we discuss, we give him more distance.
And your horses traditionally, Chris, can be very precocious. Obviously, it's not unheard of for you to get a first-time out winner like this horse. But I guess sometimes after they do win, say, their first couple, they can just take a bit of time to find their feet. But once they do come back, they can come back bigger and stronger, can't they?
I think, the horse is improving, but, that's what I say, we need to find the right distance for him. Seems like, he can handle more distance, like, 18, that's why, we see. Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean, I had a look. He's down one over nearly a mile and a quarter. So, I mean, you'd like to think there's enough stamina there to be confident he can get the 18, right?
I can't say, but looks like he seems okay, can handle. Yeah.
And Chris, while I've got you, just quickly, you had a nice horse make a winning introduction, Mabubu. When might we see him again?
We'll be running on the International Day, so let's see.
He's a nice horse, isn't he, that guy?
I think for the first start, he ran good. I think he's just like he need to more improving, and keep improving, and we will find out on the Sunday.